Today I'm going to discuss about microservices. So, so today I'm on going to focus on uh, these many points. Difference between difference between monolithic and microservices, API gateways, microservice architecture in detail, and Eureka server, message broker, and we'll talk about the gamification of microservices or health check of the microservices. So let's discuss about the basic difference between the monolithic and microservice architecture. So here a basic architecture of microservice. Mm, In monolithic design, every services are compact together in one application, and there will be one database, and a user request, whenever the user request is sent, the uh, the it will call the business logic, and business logic call the data access layer, and data access layer will contact database, and we'll get the required data in a single database. So see, suppose one anywhere the application get fail, the whole system will crash. You need to up, you need to update the software or bug track, then whole application will be uh, whole application will crash. So now if we talk about the microservices, so microservices is modularize the modularize the task in the small independent applications. So each application is independent and having their own database, and they are independent to follow their technologies, and development is also easy because smaller independent application, there is less chances of coding complexity. So whenever the services we can the user can request directly the service they required, so it is fast and more convenient. So each see, suppose one they the microservice can communicate each other through a common message broking system. So here we can see the details, each microservice having a message broker to communicate each other, and the request is also here goes through API gateway. So this is the basic architecture, and and we see that what is the benefit of the microservices with respect to the monolithic design: coding simplicity, independent applications. So choose uh, easy to choose the technology for each microservice, team management, less complex, and suppose if one application is failed, the remaining services will active. So whole application will not affect of crashing one application. So which is easy to upgrade of a small application. So these are the basic a benefit. These are the benefit of the microservices with respect to monolithic architecture. Now we'll talk about the API gateway. Means API gateway is first when we send request, it is go through the API gateway. So API gateway provide here we can see there are basic API gateway providers like uh, Apache, self services like Apache, Azure Proxy, Ignix, cloud services, AWS API gateway, Azure API gateway, APJ. And so what API gateway do? Whenever the client send request, the API provide the authentication, authorization. Either the user is authorized, other is authorized or authenticated or not for this for use of this microservices. They can We can use adapter services also for the request, means conversion of request into the version of designed microservices. uh, um, we can talk about the cache. See some caching facility of some of the data which is usually frequently requested, that can be cached also. So caching facility is also provided by the routing and load balancing is main work. I can say that routing is like request, whenever the request is come, then which microservices request will go, that duty is also done by the API gateway. Load balancing is another good service by the microservice, done service for load balancing facility is also provided by the API gateway. Means whenever the too much request will come, so how to handle these microservices, it is done by API gateway. Now we can talk about we can talk about the gamification. Mm, See, here we have here when a request is sent to API gateway like Joule, then the API gateway connected with API gateway will call with the Eureka server. The Eureka server will give information about the health, about the state and health of each microservice. Then the request is sent to the microservice, and the microservice which is registered with the message broker can connect with the in contact with the message broker to process if microservice 1 is required to connect with the microservice 2. Some message is required by the microservice 1 uh, to microservice 2. So the message broker is help.
It's 4:30.
The message broker is a set of a small amount of data which is required to give response by microservice 1 request which is the request which is sent by the user. So now we can talk about the gamification of the microservices. So gamification is only it's a type of, all information health check, all about of the health check of the microservices. So the all registered microservices informations, what is the status of that microservices, are they working or not, what is, how many, means what kind of load is, either it's in either it's working condition, it is in the remove state or in the working added, all the informations are, is a kind of a information provider, health check provider of the whole microservice architecture. So this is basic functionality, basic arc, basic architecture of um, microservices. If we go more detail, here we have the detailed design of microservices, same as um, how the request is sent to the how the microservices are registered by the Eureka server, and how message communication, how the message broker communicate is help is come how the message broker is helpful to communicate with the microservices. So now we can talk about the Eureka server. Eureka server is helpful to uh, give information of microservice, the is the current status, so that the request can be processed, mm, so that the API gateway can send the request to the microservices. So each microservices which is added into the cluster, microservice cluster, is registered in the Eureka server. So uh, so the details of the details of each microservices is maintained by the Eureka server. So now message broker uh, is is a communicator between all message provider, you can say, between all the microservices. So message can be in the form of in the form of uh, JSON, or a small data format, a small data set. So there are multiple providers are there, message as a message broker, like MQ, even REST can be used for the message broker, Reddit, and others message providers are available in the market. So this is all about microservice, from basic to advanced design of the design of the microservice. I hope you enjoyed this uh, explanation of this microservice. Thank you.